Most people think Suno Studio is just a timeline where you drag in your AI songs and cut them up. That's wrong. Studio 2.0 just landed, and it has completely changed what Suno AI actually is. You now get MIDI tracks with synths, built-in audio effects with automation, and a new chat bar where you can talk to Studio and even design your own plugins inside it. Today, I'm going to take one Suno song and walk you through how to properly produce it from start to finish. By the end, you'll know how to actually produce inside Suno Studio, not just generate in it. This is more of an intermediate workflow, so if you're brand new to Suno AI, I recommend watching my beginner's Suno guide first. So, let's get into it. First, we need a bass song. I'm using a track I already generated in Suno called Velvet Bounce. It's a groovy hip-hop instrumental with a nice bounce to it. Honestly, it's a good foundation, but right now, it's just a loop with a vibe. So I want to put some vocals on top to carry the track, layer in some new instruments, and mix it properly using the studio features. So that's what we're going to build. And the first step is to get it into Studio. Click the three dots next to the song title. Go to Edit and then select Open in Studio. Now we have our track on the timeline.
Let's go.
Pretty cool for a tune, right? Now even though it's an instrumental, I can hear some ad-libs in there, which is great. Right now, this is one flat audio file. So our first job is to separate the instruments so we can edit them freely. Let's right-click on the clip and go to Get Stems. Here, we're presented with three options. This update also brings the new advanced split method to Studio, which not only gives us cleaner stems, but also allows us to choose which stems we want to pull out of the mix. First, I'm going to use Auto Split to check which instrument layers are in the mix. Then I'll go to the Advanced Split option and select the stems I need to produce this song. Hit Extract. Here we are.
Let's go.
You'll notice that there are two versions of each stem, so you can listen to both and pick the one you like. Let's keep the Match Project Tempo toggle on and click Insert All. And now we have our stems on the timeline. Now we can actually start working.
Go.
The groove here is solid, but it feels a little stiff right now. I feel like it needs something with more movement on top. Let's add a shaker. Here at the bottom of the screen, you can see the new Studio chat bar. It's one of the main features in the 2.0 update, and honestly, this might be a game changer for you. I'm gonna select a 6-bar portion here and type in a prompt. More groovy shaker. That's it. 4 words. This isn't a generic prompt box. It's aware of your project's context. You don't need to go into detail describing technical things like the tempo, key, or style, because it can already see our project and the section I've selected. You can even select the model here, but let's keep version 5.5 and hit enter. Look at that. It thinks for a few seconds and comes up with 2 brand new takes for the shaker, so you can listen to both and keep the one you like. Both are great versions, but the second take has a better swing to it, so let's commit to that one. Now, I really like the last part of this shaker. It has some nice looping potential. So I'm gonna cut the last portion of this clip, copy it, and paste it forward so it loops. Yeah, that shaker is doing some real work there now. Next, our track needs a lead. It needs something with a bit more personality, so I'm gonna select the next portion here and prompt for a funky tenor saxophone lead to follow our shaker. 2 takes again. Let's go with the second take. Okay, that sounds great. Now, this is an instrumental and we don't have a lead vocal. So, let's create one. But I don't just want a dry vocal dropped in. I want it sitting properly in the mix, with some space around it. So, I'm gonna select a portion and type male vocal with reverb and delay. And here's where it gets interesting. Watch the log. It generates a male lead vocal stem, but then it keeps going. Because we asked for effects along with the stem, it automatically opens the audio effects section, adds reverb to the track, and then adds delay as well. Then it goes back and inspects both of them, and it even starts tuning the parameters as well. This is just crazy. I gave it one sentence, and it not only generated the part, but also engineered it further by fine-tuning the parameters. It genuinely feels like it's collaborating with me on this project. Let's listen to the vocals we got by using the Suno chat panel on the left to check both versions. This first take actually has lyrics, but the reverb and delay are too heavy on it. It's difficult to make out the words. If I'm using lyrics, I always need them to be clearly audible. That's interesting. The first vocal take had lyrics, but this one is all ad-libs. So instead of choosing between the two versions, I'm gonna duplicate this vocal stem track and keep both stems so I can make use of the ad-lib version as well. I'm gonna align the ad-lib vocal take right underneath the tenor sax so it follows the vocal take with lyrics. Now, I'm gonna bring down and adjust the reverb on this take to bring the lyrics further forward in the mix. It might feel a little crowded here, so let's pan the saxophone to the left and the ad-libs to the right, so they have enough space to work together. However, I feel like a distortion effect would help bring the vocals forward even more, so I'm gonna remove the delay effect and hit the Add Effect button here. This opens the plugin browser. There's even an option to create a plugin for your own idea, but in this case, I'm just gonna scroll down and select the built-in distortion effect. And that brings me to the next feature in this update, automation. That's right, you can now set any parameter to change over time. That matters because static settings across 4 minutes can start to feel boring, no matter how good they sound, and this new automation feature is how you fix that. So, on the vocal distortion effect we added here, right-click on the tilt knob and click Automate. That gives us a curve we can adjust over the duration of the track. Let's set it to gradually move downward over time and check it out. Just like that, the character of our vocal gradually changes as the tilt control moves downward. On the second ad-lib vocal version, let's keep both the reverb and delay effects, because ad-libs are naturally supposed to sit further back and feel washed out, especially in this particular genre. I'm gonna keep adjusting the effect parameters on both vocal takes until the balance feels right, and here we are. Okay, that sounds great. Now let's use that automation feature on something bigger. Here's our drum stem. I want to let it develop a little more, so I'm adding a distortion effect to it as well. This time, I'm going to right-click on the cutoff knob and automate it. This cutoff controls how much of the high end gets through. Let's add some movement near the end. We'll let it drop a little and then rise back up again. Hear that? The drums pull back and then they come back in. Just like that, you can surgically control the energy of your track over time. Let's come back to our lyric vocal stem one more time. I'm gonna click Add Effects again, and this time, I'm choosing the EQ plugin for this track. The EQ gives you multiple bands, and for each band, you can choose the type: low cut, high cut, peaking, and so on, and then set the frequency, Q, and gain. For a vocal, we know it's essential to cut the low end. Then, I'm gonna lift the top end a little. This will bring out more clarity and air, allowing the words to cut through the mix instead of sitting behind it. Considering where we started, we've got some really nice clear vocals now. One more small thing, our first shaker is still sitting dead center, but the center is getting crowded now, so I'm panning it slightly to the left. Percussion sitting slightly off center feels more natural anyway. Okay, now, it's time for the biggest feature in this update. Until now, everything inside Suno Studio was just audio. You generated audio, you cut audio, and you moved audio around. But now, Studio 2.0 has MIDI tracks. That's right, I'm gonna click Add New Track here, and now we also have the MIDI option. Let's click on that. And straight away, you can see that there's a synth effect preloaded on it. It's a wavetable synth ready to go. You don't have to go looking for an instrument, it's already there waiting for you. Now, how do we play it? If you have a MIDI keyboard plugged in, Studio picks it up automatically. But most of you watching this probably don't have one sitting on your desk right now. So the good news is, there's a playable keyboard built directly into the browser. Open it up, and you get a piano laid out on the screen with your computer keyboard mapped to it. The letter keys become the piano notes. Now you can play a musical part into Suno using nothing more than the laptop you already have. That's about as convenient as it gets. Okay, it's time to play some notes. I'm gonna hit the record button here and play a part using this built-in keyboard. When I recorded that part, I noticed that the notes didn't land exactly where I had actually played them. There's a small delay between hitting the key and the note being recorded. It could just be latency. Either way, it's an easy fix, because that's exactly what the MIDI editor is for. I'll open the MIDI clip we just recorded, and the piano roll opens up. Every note I played appears as a block here that I can drag, stretch, or delete. So I'll just go through and pull the notes back onto the grid where they should be. I'm also adding a few more notes and chords, and making some adjustments so the part aligns better with our main track. Yeah, that's good. And there are some helpful controls down at the bottom here. There's a quantize control. Set it to a note value, and it'll snap everything onto the grid for you. There's also a key setting and a scale toggle. Now remember that drum automation we created earlier? I came back to it and noticed that the curve we had set up had changed on its own. This is clearly a glitch. To be fair to Suno, some stability work is said to be ongoing, so hopefully, this will be cleared up soon. Building the chord arrangement. Alright, back to the MIDI. I've got a clean part now, so let's expand it across the track. I'm gonna duplicate this clip here and start reworking the notes to build a full chord arrangement. I want a bit more bite on those chords. So I'm adding a distortion effect to the MIDI track. Let's try automating the cutoff on this one too, the same way we did with the drums. Okay, I'm not really a big fan of that one. The automation didn't quite stick this time. Anyway, let's keep building this out. I'm continuing to copy the MIDI part forward across the rest of the track, and I'm gonna keep reworking the notes so that each part has its own character. Alright, let me show you where we've landed. Cool, right? Okay, let's zoom out and look at what we've built. We started with one flat AI-generated instrumental. We split it into stems for full control. We added a shaker with a forward prompt and looped it by hand. We added a funky tenor sax lead. We generated a vocal, and Studio Chat mixed it in the same breath. We kept both takes, the lyrics sitting forward and the ad-libs sitting further back. We panned everything out for width instead of letting the mix become muddy. We added distortion and EQ where they were needed. We automated the drums so the track could breathe. And finally, we played a MIDI part and arranged it across the song with chords. Okay, so here's what we started with.
Let's go.
And now, here's what we ended up with.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's the same song. Now it's been produced into a completely new version. That's Suno Studio 2.0. It's not just a song generator with a timeline anymore. Now it's a proper AI DAW. For me, the Studio chat bar is the highlight of the update. Just describe your idea simply, and it generates the part while building the effects chain around it. That's a real time saver. But MIDI is the change that matters most. The moment you can play your own parts into Suno, the ceiling on what you can make here goes way up. No, it's not perfect yet. Automation is still a little shaky, but that should be fixed soon. So if you want to go from an idea to a finished, fully produced track with AI, this is where you want to go with. If this helped you out, hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot more Suno content coming. Thanks for watching.